This is the Power Platform Daily Brief from CRM Audio for Thursday, June 6, 2019. What you need to know about the Power Platform today in 10 minutes or less. I'm Brad Kuntz. So next week is the Microsoft Business Applications Summit in Atlanta on Monday and Tuesday. We'll have a little preview of that coming up later in today's episode. But first, a couple of quick news items. Microsoft recently announced a preview of the Common Data Service Storage Capacity Analytics. And what this does is this makes analytics reporting on your capacity in a single place where you can see all your data. A little bit has changed. Currently all you could see was database storage as kind of a single reporting item. In the new model, we've got storage capacity management that breaks out database capacity, the file capacity, which includes attachments, files, photos, videos, things like that, and log capacity. So some of the benefits here: scalability, obviously, ability to enhance new business scenarios, reduce the need to free up storage space, which for a lot of folks is a big pain point. It's going to support a variety of data types, and it's going to give you flexibility to create new environments and instances. So we'll have a link here in the show notes to this preview page. The dashboards are fantastic, especially when you compare them to the old way of looking at this data. So check that out. So in related news, our colleague Joel Lindstrom has released a Power App. It's the Dynamics 365 Storage Calculator. Again, we'll have a link to that in the show notes. But, since Dynamics 365 storage has traditionally been sold by the gigabyte, and it really didn't differentiate between data files and logs, the new capacity model separates file data log storage, with the files automatically stored on Azure Blob. So with the calculator, you'll be able to compare storage costs under the new capacity model and with the traditional approach. So like I said, kudos to Joel for releasing this. There's a link in the show notes, so you'll be able to try that out. Another app that Joel released recently was the Super Duper Deduper. So Joel had a problem, like a lot of us, that was driving him crazy. Too many duplicate contacts in Outlook. And Outlook doesn't really give you an easy way to manage duplicate contacts, so Joel made a Power App. And this Power App allows you to pick two contacts from your Outlook contacts, select which values you wish to keep from each record, and then merge the main contact record and delete the duplicate. So check this out. I'm very anxious to try this one. I've been a bit frustrated through the years as different systems, as they do get integrated into your CRM system, be it the addition of Skype, and at some points those contacts were automatically being generated and added to the contact database. You add in some LinkedIn functionality that needed to be turned off when that integration was taking place, and what I have is a big mess. So I'm super excited to give Joel's app a try today. Another app that came to our notice this week is from Microsoft Labs. It's in the app source, and it's export to Excel tracking. And it gives you the ability to track who, what, when the data was exported from CRM. And so if you think about access to your enterprise data, and it kind of leaving the nest when it goes out and into Excel. Of course, we do have some security measures built into D365 that can manage that, but it's certainly good to know the user who exported the data, the user domain name, the date and time of the export. So this is a really nice audit feature that you can download from the App Store. So be sure to check that out. So next week is the Microsoft Business Application Summit. It is going to be in Atlanta on Monday and Tuesday. If you're not going to the event, you can certainly watch the keynote. That'll be Monday morning, and you'll be able to grab a link for the keynote. That's free. You don't have to pay for that, and that's something that you can watch in real time as it's happening. Featured speakers is going to be James Phillips, Corporate Vice President of Microsoft Business Applications Group, and Alyssa Taylor, the Corporate Vice President of Business Applications and Global Industry Marketing for Microsoft. I had the opportunity to listen to Alyssa Taylor speak at the Hitachi Solutions Customer Conference last week. It was fantastic. And earlier this week, she also spoke at the Bank of America Global Technology event. Recording is made available through the Microsoft Press site. I've got a clip here, and I think it's really interesting the way that she talks about the evolution of Dynamics and the evolution of the Power Platform and what that means for users. So check this out.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting evolution, I would say. So we had, if you kind of wind back in time, we had a set of assets that were a collection of ERP assets that were predominantly on-prem. And then we had a CRM business that we built at Microsoft, and they were actually two very disparate divisions within Microsoft. And so we had effectively competing ERP systems and then a CRM system. And so as we looked forward to what does the world look like in 10 years, particularly as customers are going through the adoption of a digital platform, having these big monolithic siloed applications wasn't the direction that we needed to take for our customers. And so we actually took on the effort of bringing those assets together, converging them onto the Azure platform. So we went from our on-prem and our hosted on-prem environment, rebuilt them onto Azure, and then we broke them down into purpose-built applications. So they're now aligned by marketing, sales, service, finance, operations, and talent. And we did that with this vision of how do we allow customers to easily adopt as they're going through their digital transformation. That was the goal and the North Star. And then we built underneath those applications a unified data set. It's something that we call the Common Data Service. So we could not only share data freely across those applications, but we could also ingest data from things like, from other assets, LinkedIn, our Office, communication, collaboration history, as well as our partner ecosystem. And so the core to our strategy has been how do we enable rapid, faster digital transformation, and we unlock the data that has been historically very trapped in siloed applications. And so that was the vision for Dynamics 365. And then knowing that once you have all that data, you have to have an adaptability and extensibility model, and that was the introduction of the Power Platform. So we're relatively old in the Microsoft world, but new in the sort of new vision. So Dynamics 365 was 2 years in November.
Okay. Wow, congratulations. So when you look at the competition in terms of feature functionality, et cetera, where are you with respect to the gap, or maybe you've caught up? What's your assessment of the state of the world?
I think as we've gone through this journey, one of the things that, as I talked about, was important for us is to be able to, leverage kind of the entire Microsoft asset cloud. So being built on Azure, being able to deeply integrate and build with Office. And so, when we think about our differentiation and where we think we have made strides, it is in that enabling of that data layer. So being able to ingest data across the applications at the data platform level, being able to extend it, customize it, be able to ingest data from all different sources. So you're not just in a CRM set of data. And then also having, this co-build mentality. So we have our engineering teams across Microsoft 365 and Dynamics and Azure co-building features that are deeply integrated in a way so you can do things like machine learning within Power BI. You have out-of-the-box artificial intelligence within Dynamics 365. You have native communication with Office integration. And so that's very unique to us, and we think that's a big differentiator when we think about business applications, because the market is, as you guys all know, is highly fragmented. Yeah. And so what customers end up with is a collection of assets. And again, their data is sort of trapped in these different silos. And then there's a cost to ETL the data out to be able to analyze it to create new experiences.
That's all for today's Power Platform Daily Brief. Power on.